I just got off a Facebook post that was on GP Down Under. If you're a GP in Australia, then you probably should join GPs Down Under. It's a great site. They posted up an article released in the UK in a newspaper called The Telegraph. And it was written by an ex-consultant surgeon. And he was saying, you know what, we seem to be having a problem in general practice. I was like, yes, the problems are twofold. Number one, GPs are working part-time, and two, GPs are leaving England. After having been trained in the NHS, having been through med school, they're then exiting out and going elsewhere. And this is an interesting phenomenon because it's not dissimilar to that which we have in Australia as well, which is GPs are working less, GPs are stopping work, GPs are not going in, medical students, are not going into general practice. And his solution was to force a 4-day week on general practitioners. And I was like, well, that's going to be a very interesting choice because I don't think that's going to work at all. I really don't. Like, that would, if I was forced to do 4 days, I could do it. I'm sure you could do it as a GP, but definitely the enthusiasm for that would wear pretty thin, and we may well find a situation rapidly whereby the idea was to get everyone to work more, but the outcome was that people are like, I'm not going to do GP at all if I was forced to do GP for 4 days. Now the question must come, why is it that 4 days of general practice has become so much more difficult, so much more challenging? And I think there's two components. One is that the level of complexity has gone up. One is the patients are in far more stress and strain than previously. And, well, this is three, the money's just not that great. Like, we have not seen a significant increase in money for general practitioners despite inflation going up and despite costs going up. And this has meant that it's not much fun. I feel like I am almost working for free. And then it's like, well, okay, what solutions have we got for this? Not many. Not many. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of solutions for what this is going to be. I have an idea. I'm going to pursue it and see whether it comes out. And that idea, well, I'll let you know if it works. If it doesn't work, then there's no point in sharing it. But the idea is, okay, well, maybe the problem is just too many patients. That if I'm trying to manage 200, 300, 400 patients, which many of us are as a regular GP, there's just like too much worry. I don't know my patients that well. I do. When they walk in the door, I know them. But in terms of being able to invest time into them outside of the consult, nah. I filled in a form today for a neurosurgical consult. It was unclear what the information that they wanted was. They just sent me a list of, here, you need more information. I sent them the MRIs. I sent them all the stuff that I had. We'll see what happens. I don't have great hopes for it. I've only had one patient who got in rapidly for the neurosurgical unit up on the Gold Coast, and they had a schwannoma sitting on L3. It was very interesting. The patient came in and just would not get better. 12 weeks in of back pain, had osteo, had a physio, and they didn't have much money. And he was a very interesting sign. They were like, I am going to pay for the MRI. Something is wrong. And in that moment, I came up with a new idea. It's like, hey, if people who don't have many resources are willing to pay for an MRI, there's probably something wrong. So he did come back with a L3 schwannoma, and then, of course, COVID was on at this time, and they got turned back from the border. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like my only patient ever to get in rapidly. They got in like 10 days. Did a great job up there, wonderful, but I do think the demands on the neurosurgical team up in Queensland seem to also be one of vastly under-resourced. So where are we heading with all of this? I don't know. It's Australia's doing quite well overall. NHS is clearly struggling, but I think general practice itself is struggling, and perhaps we need a new model. Perhaps we need a new model that focuses on something else other than what we're doing right now. Too much stress, too much strain, too much fear, too much worry. And the better solution is to reduce the days or get out entirely, go do something else. Many ways to earn money in this world. And so even though we may have had the trap of being tied into financial commitments because we're doctors, that is there another way? Perhaps in that moment of looking at general practice and go, you know what, I don't want to do this, then other options open up and find a way to make the mortgage and pay for all that stuff. So I think we're in for a wild ride. If this is where we're at in 2023, as the continuing load of the baby boomers getting sicker comes on board, as well as Australia's increasing population, another 500,000 people coming through, I believe, this year, with limited numbers of doctors. I don't know where this is going, but it's probably going to mean that the price for quality general practice, whereby someone could actually get an experience that provided significant results long-term, could be priced much higher than we currently are charging. This is an option. This is the option I'm looking at. I'm like, you know what? Maybe there are some people who are so sick of just having what is on offer right now, they might be willing to pay more. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know as it plays out. And if it does work, then hey, the opportunity for you too to say, you know what? I'm done with this game. Let's go play a different game where we get paid properly as experienced practitioners and general practitioners. So, yeah, I'm going to go enjoy some dinner with my kids. We got some fires going on up here in Byron Bay. It's day 3. The air is very smoky. Heavy winds have meant that it's not been easy to put out. And a little bit of fear in terms of memories of 2020, January 2020, and everything catching on fire. So, yeah. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Catch you next time.